last publication. And of course, we have access to information unit, who is also our sponsor. And that essentially would be a synopsis of what the bulletin entails. And we continue, we always accept feedback. I want to highlight also that we would have changed the bulletin last year. If you remember last year, it was a white cover for the bulletin. We changed it for the new year for a fresh look. We gave it a blue cover this time. And of course, you all that would be aware that we had a Christmas publication that went in December that was specific just for the festive season. And as usual, we accept any feedback anyone might have to make this a bigger, better publication production. However, we'll continue to work on it and make sure that you have all the information you need right here. Thank you, Mr. President, and thanks, members.
Thank you, Chairman Chris. All right, so thank you for that. And of course, we want to continue to thank our sponsors who have come on board with us for our bulletin. And we thank the chairman and the PR and marketing committee for a wonderful bulletin. Very good commendations, very good comments I've received, Chairman, on the bulletin. So we put our hands together for the team who produced the bulletin, the latest bulletin. Thank you. All right, I know you did mention some birthdays, but at this time I'm gonna invite Chairman John membership to just do the birthdays upcoming. I know I saw a birthday celebrant on the meeting.
All right, thank you very much, President. Good evening, fellow Kiwanians or SLPs. Of course, let me not leave out our prospects and by extension, just the well-wishers. No, we're celebrating a special birthday, and special in many regards. And I'm going to say special because this person did not celebrate his birthday prior to this meeting, and it's not after. He celebrated his birthday today, so that makes him a little extra special. We just want to say a happy birthday to DP Kingsley, who, as we said earlier, is celebrating his birthday today. We wish for him, as usual, more life, more health, more wealth, and of course, more strength so he can continue effecting the impact that he is doing. So DP Kingsley, on behalf of the membership committee, on behalf of the general membership, we celebrate with you today on your special birthday. President, in the same vein, I would also want to quickly acknowledge DP Kingsley's son, Craig, who would have completed his ACCA examinations and would have been successful. So I guess as it relates to the blessings, when the blessings roll from the head, it rolls to the shoulders. And so we celebrate with Craig as it relates to his future endeavors. So DP Kingsley, we ask that you extend congratulations likewise to Craig from the Kiwanis Club of North St. Andrew. Now, unfortunately, or maybe not, we have not celebrated any anniversary for the month of January. I think the month of December was a month we saw tons of anniversaries. So let's see what happens from the month of February. But for now, we are not celebrating any anniversaries. So President, that is it as it relates to birthdays. And so I turn it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman John. And I too want to wish DP Kingsley a happy birthday and hope he will enjoy. I hope he has been enjoying the day thus far and will continue to do so.
I sang for him today.
You sang for him today? Okay.
Yes,
so
thank you, DLG Girlfriend. I enjoyed it.
DLG Gertlin, we didn't hear. We probably will ask at the end to do it again.
Well, we will see.
Yes.
Thank you,
Happy
President and
birthday,
Chairman John.
Kingsley.
Thank you, thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Director Kishman.
All right. So we are at the point, our main event, and this evening is our guest speaker night. And our guest speaker is on and is ready to share with us. But to do the introduction, I'm going to invite past President-elect Dudley to go ahead and do so.
Thank you very much, President. Kiwanians, guests of Kiwanians, prospects, SLPs, visitors, good evening. Our guest speaker is a graduate of the University of the West Indies. She has been with the National Health Fund since 2015. She currently works as a health promotion coordinator in the Health Promotion and Public Relations Department. As such, she organized several events for the fund. These include, but are not limited to, health fairs, ceremonial openings, groundbreaking, and many more. Fellow Kiwanians, guests, our guest speaker is a skilled presenter with years of experience conducting presentation on behalf of the National Health Fund. The person to whom I refer is Miss Karine Reed. Let us give her a rousing Kiwanian welcome. Miss Karine Reed.
Good night, everyone. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And thank you all for this invitation to be here with you tonight to present to you about the benefits of the National Health Fund. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. Before I do so, I wish you all a happy and prosperous new year on behalf of the National Health Fund. Are you able to see my screen? Just checking.
Yes. Yes, we can. Thank you.
Yes, we are.
Wonderful. Just move a few key things out of the way. Okay, so wonderful. Okay, so the National Health Fund and our tagline is your partner for a healthier you. So the National Health Fund, who are? So the NHF is an agency of the Ministry of Health and Wellness and was established to reduce the financial burden of healthcare on the population. We are funded from 20% on special consumption tax charge on tobacco products, as well as a portion of the special consumption tax, 5% collected and 1% from NIS. Our vision is no financial barriers to healthcare, and our mission is to provide funding for specified healthcare benefits, health promotions, health projects, and pharmacy services in a sustainable, efficient, and customer-centric environment. What do we do? So NHF assists Jamaican residents to access medication in both the public and the private healthcare sector through the provision of the NHF card. And I think many of us are familiar with the NHF card, but you'll see what this looks like in just a moment. We also assist with the delivery of inpatient and outpatient pharmacy services for the public health sector. And this includes the management of the medical warehouse and over 104 pharmacy locations in the public health system. Additionally, the NHF was established to provide funding for institutions to improve healthcare delivery, including health infrastructure and the upgrade of medical equipment and transportation. So in a nutshell, this is what the NHF does. There are two categories of benefits that we offer. There is the individual benefits and there is the institutional benefits. Now, the individual benefits is where we assist individuals to meet the cost of filling their prescriptions for specific illnesses. And that is what the NHF card portion of the NHF does. It assists individuals to meet the cost of filling their prescription for specific illnesses, and these illnesses will be showed to you in time to come. Now, there's also the institutional benefits arm, and this is where we support organizations that provide healthcare in Jamaica. Now, the NHF card program, and this is in relation to the individual benefits aspect of NHF. Now, the NHF card provides subsidies to every person living in Jamaica at any age for the treatment of 17 chronic illnesses. So currently we cover 17 chronic illnesses under our NHF card program, and it's for persons of any age. The 17 conditions that are covered under the NHF card includes arthritis, asthma, benign prostatic hyperplasia, that is your enlarged prostate. We also cover breast cancer, diabetes, epilepsy, glaucoma, high cholesterol, hypertension, ischemic heart disease, major depression, prostate cancer, psychosis, rheumatic fever, heart disease, sickle cell disease, vascular disease, systemic lupus erythematosus, and that is lupus. Now, we also have our JADEP benefits, and these 10 chronic conditions are covered under our JADEP benefits. Now, JADEP, as we know, stands for Jamaica Drug for the Elderly program. And this is a program, as you will see, that is for the elderly, as mentioned, for persons who are over the age of 60. Now, drugs under the JADEP program are free of cost for these persons who are over the age of 60. Now, there are 10 chronic illnesses that are covered under the JADEP program, and these include arthritis, asthma, benign prostatic hyperplasia, which is again enlarged prostate, cardiac disease, diabetes, glaucoma, hypertension, high cholesterol, psychotic conditions, vascular or circulatory problems. These are the 10 conditions that are covered under the JADEP program. And remember, as mentioned before, JADEP stands for the Jamaica Drug for the Elderly program. Now, recently, we have had a merger where we have merged all the great benefits of the NHF into one. So all 3 health cards administered by the National Health Fund, that is the NHF card, the JADEP card, and the GOJ card, are now merged into the NHF card. Now, the NHF card will facilitate access to both NHF card benefits and JADEP card benefits. And JADEP card holders, they can continue to use their existing card. However, we do encourage you to apply for the NHF card, because applying for the NHF card allows you access to the NHF card benefits. Now, all individuals applying for the NHF card the NHF card will enable them to access both NHF card benefits, as mentioned, and JADEP card benefits at our participating pharmacies. Now, applicants must be diagnosed with one or more of the 17 chronic illnesses that were mentioned before that are covered under the NHF card program. Now, all applicants, regardless of their age, are required to have a TRN in order to receive the NHF card. So those are the requirements of getting an NHF card. 1, you must have a TRN. 2, you must have one of the 17 chronic illnesses that are covered under the NHF card program. Once those 2 categories are fulfilled, you are able to get your NHF card. Now, as mentioned before, JADEP benefits still exist. It's now merged into the NHF card. Now, JADEP participants get their drugs free of cost. And these, as mentioned before, are for persons who are over the age of 60. JADEP beneficiaries, however, are required to pay a pharmacy fee of $40 per item, but no more than $240 for 6 or more items at or for participating pharmacies. Now, once you know the requirements of getting an NHF card, how do you apply? Now, this form over here that you are seeing on your screen, this is the NHF form. So once you have access to one of these NHF forms and you're able to find the, you are able to get the NHF form at your doctor's office, in the drugstore pharmacies, or you're able to visit the NHF office and you are able to get one of the NHF forms. Now, once you have one of the NHF forms in hand, you are required to complete section A of the form, and this is where you would insert your TRN, your name, your address, and so forth in section A of the form. Once section A is complete, section B should be completed by a guardian for persons who are under the age of 18 years, incapacitated, or in state care. Now, section C should be completed by your medical doctor. Your medical doctor should include his doctor registration number, which is the MCJ number, and his signature, his or her signature. And your doctor should also indicate the condition for which you are applying, which is any of the 17 chronic illnesses which were mentioned before. Once these 3 sections are completed, you are able to submit your NHF application form to any of our NHF card centers where your application will be processed within minutes. Now, we have gone through the requirements for the NHF card. We have also gone through how you go about getting your NHF card. So now we're going to look at the benefits of the NHF card. So what are the benefits of the NHF card? 1, we have prescription drugs. 2, respiratory devices. 3, diabetic supplies. 4, diagnostic tests. 5, double subsidy for children. And 6, the NHF card can be combined with your private insurance. And as promised, this is a picture of the NHF card. And if it looks different from the one that you know, this is because we have changed the look of the NHF card to this new NHF card. No benefits. We have, as mentioned, double subsidy for children. And this is where children under the age of 19 years gets double subsidy for the price of their medication. Now, the average subsidy rate for pharmaceutical payments for this age group is 80% of the cost of the drugs under the program. So what this basically means is that if you are a child and you are under the age of 19 years old, then you get double the subsidy of the NHF payment. Now, that simply means if the drug costs $100, and NHF normally subsidizes $40 from that $100. This means if you are under 19 years of age, then NHF will actually subsidize $80 of your medication. So instead of $40, we double that to $80, and that is what the NHF will pay for children under the age of 19 years. We also have diabetic supplies under the NHF card. You're able to get your test strips, lancets, and needles or syringes. You're also able to get a free glucometer and pen fill applicator with use of your NHF card. And this is applicable to diabetic patients. So once you are diagnosed with diabetes under the NHF card program and you utilize your NHF card to get your diabetes drugs, then you are able to apply for a free glucometer, and this process can be done online. Once you visit the NHF website, you are able to apply for a free glucometer online. Asthmatic patients are able to get asthmatic spacers and masks, which are subsidized under the NHF card program. HbA1c tests. Now, HbA1c test is another great benefit from the NHF card. And these are for patients who are diabetic again. Now, diabetics are allowed four of these tests annually, that is every 90 days. And NHF beneficiaries who are non-diabetics are allowed one of these tests annually. Now, a subsidy of $400 is paid from the NHF towards the HbA1c test. However, $800 is paid for children. As mentioned before, the double subsidy applies to the tests also. Breast cancer receptor studies. And this is where a lab test can be done on breast cancer cells to determine hormone receptors or biological receptors. And this is specifically for breast cancer patients, as this aids in their treatment option that is given to them by their medical doctor. So those are the benefits of the NHF card. Now, there are several ways in which you're able to fill your public prescription. So once you have an NHF card, you now want to go ahead and use your NHF card to get these great benefits to subsidize from the cost of your medication. Now, there are several ways in which you're able to fill that prescription. And this includes scheduled refill, drop-off and pick-up service, quick prescript, and home delivery. These are the options in which you are able, these are the alternate options in which you're able to fill your public prescription. Now, the quick prescript app. So this is an app can be downloaded on your smartphone, and this allows you to fill your prescription with just a click. Now, this helps to improve patient delivery in the public service. And if you are not a patient in the public service, so if you are a patient in the public service, you don't have to wait in line. You can simply fill your prescription using your smartphone. So this app is available in the Google Play Store and the Apple Play Store. And once you download this app, you are able to input your data. You are able to upload your prescription. You are able to select when you want your prescription to be collected. You're able to select the number of items that you need, and we communicate with you via the app. So once you download this quick prescript app, you're able to fill your prescription with just a click. We also have the quick prescript kiosk, and this is a machine that is available at selected drug serve locations island-wide, and it works similar to the quick prescript app. However, this is a physical machine as mentioned, and it's located inside the pharmacy. So you would have to go to the pharmacy to use this machine, but persons are able to place their prescriptions on the slot that is provided, and they're able to scan their prescription, and that goes into the system and allows, and allows you to, again, fill your prescription with just a click. We also have the public sector pharmacies that NHF partners with, and you are able to fill your public prescription at these private pharmacies with just a service charge of $200. There's the scheduled refill and drop off, where you're able to speak with your pharmacist on how you may be able to access these services. Now, the scheduled refill is available to you once you have a repeat prescription, a repeat on your prescription. We're able to fill your medication ahead of time for your next visit. There's also the drop off and pick up service, where you're able to drop off your prescription and pick up your medication at a later time. These you would have to discuss with the pharmacist. The home delivery service are for patients who are over the age of 65. These are the persons who are eligible for our home delivery service. Now, these are the contact numbers in which you are able to get your home delivery of your medication, and these numbers are 876-219-9973, 876-219-9929, or you can call the NHF office at 906-1106. We're also available via web chat between the hours of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So these are the numbers you can call if you are in need of a home delivery. And as mentioned before, the home delivery are for patients who are 65 years and older. We also have the Ask Your Pharmacist, where you are able to visit our website and speak with an expert pharmacist. So there are many ways in which you are able to speak with our pharmacist. You are able to use our online web chat system. You may also call the office at 876-906-1106. You're able to send us an email at rxsupport@nhf.org.jm, or you're also able to visit our office or any other drug serve locations, and you are able to speak with any of our expert pharmacists. Now, once there are several NHF card centers island-wide, and these centers allow for same-day service. Now, this is a video that will be played, and all these card centers will be listed. It will go by pretty quickly, but I can go through this at the end. So you're able to visit one of our card centers island-wide, and you're able to submit your completed NHF application form. And as mentioned before, your card will be ready within minutes. Trust me, within minutes. So all the locations are there listed. And this is island-wide, as you can see. So regardless of where you are, the location that you are, there is an NHF card center where you're able to to submit your completed NHF application form and get your card. So these are the ways in which you can contact the National Health Fund via web chat, via telephone, via email, can visit our office or on our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you so much for your attention. Are there any questions?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Thank
Okay.
you, Madam Karine. This is just awesome. Thank you so much for the presentation. I know there is a question in the chat, so you can address that. Is home delivery island-wide?
Home delivery. Sorry, wow. Recovering from the flu. So our home delivery service is island-wide, but you can call the office just to find out if you can get your home delivery at your location. So once you call the office, you're able to ask them to request home delivery at whichever location, and they'll transfer you to that drug serve location where you are able to speak with the representatives at the location to get a home delivery service.
Okay,
So
thank you.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So I'll ask if Kiwanians or guests, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and raise your hand and we'll acknowledge you, and then you can go ahead. There is a question here. Do patients who go to private doctors have the benefit of using drug serve option?
Okay, so I'm just
Kiwanians, remember you can raise your hand and ask your questions, or if you want to do so in the chat. So you can go ahead.
Okay, 1 second. I'm just bringing up the chat a little bigger so that I can see clearly. All right. So is home delivery island-wide? We mentioned that. Do patient, oh, sorry. You had asked a question before I go to the chat.
No, I'll tell you the questions in the chat. So the Kiwani Daniel was asking if patients who go to private doctors, if they can benefit from using the drug serve option.
Okay, so patients who visit private doctors, most drug serve options are not available. So the drug serve locations, persons within the public system can use the drug serve location. However, there are selected drug serves such as Union Square that you are able to take your private prescription, but these are again limited to cancer patients, and I think Renal, I can confirm that. Not sure if our registered nurse is online. But I can confirm that, however, the drug serve public patients within the system.
All right. There's President Taj is asking, given the restriction, if there's still same-day service at these locations.
Yes, we still have same-day service locations. So the National Health Fund has retrofitted most of our locations as it relates to the COVID-19 restrictions. That is to keep our patients and our customers safe. So yes, we still have same-day locations where persons are able to get their card same day.
Okay, there are two hands up. DP Kingsley, you can go ahead, and then Camille, right? White, I guess, come on, yeah.
Yes, President, through you, I'd like to ask a question. I have a perception that the NHF refunds a larger percentage of generic drugs rather than brand name drugs. Is this correct? And if so, why is that so?
So we fund large percentage of generic drugs rather
yes,
than
a larger
brand name
percentage. I could be wrong, but I am of the opinion that let's say on generic drugs, you do 80%, and on the brand name, you might do 20%. I would love to be told I'm wrong, but that's the impression I have.
Well, I don't have actual data as it relates to how much generic drugs are procured or how much brand name drugs are procured. However, I do know that there should be a mixture of both in the healthcare system. I know that there should be a mixture of both in the healthcare system. Not aware of us procuring mostly generic drugs, as most doctors, I would think they still love to prescribe the brand name. To the best of my knowledge, there is a mixture in our drug serves.
Through the chair, if I may just posit a possible reason for that perception, DP Kingsley. Let's say it's $100 is the amount that they allocate to a particular category of drugs. It's certainly typically generic drugs are cheaper versus the brand name drugs. So if it is the same subsidy being consistent across, it would certainly amount to a lower percentage of the name brand drugs, it would seem, just the arithmetic of it, if that's how it is done.
Okay, so Kiwanian, Camille, go ahead. And then the last question from DP Winston. Yes, go ahead.
I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, that you said the NHF partners with private pharmacies. Can you indicate, like for Kingston, which pharmacies does the NHF partner with?
Okay. So from the top of my head, I'm not sure of the listing of pharmacies. However, you are able to visit our website. I can put a link to the NHF website in the chat where you are able to look on our website and look for the list of private pharmacies that we partner with.
Okay, so Madam Karine, when you're doing that, can also put the toll-free number someone is asking in the chat. You can put the number as well. And there's a follow-up, there's a question from Kiwani and Daniel as to whether for asthmatic and diabetic patients, do they require prescription to get new Medihealers, test strips, etc.
If they require a prescription to get the test strips and inhalers. So to the best of my knowledge, most doctors tend to put them on the prescription. But as it relates to the pharmacy aspect of it, I am not 100% sure, but to the best of my knowledge, these are placed on your prescriptions. And once on your prescription, then the pharmacist will prescribe you and you will get the NHF subsidy from those. To the best of my knowledge, they are placed.
Two comments or concerns raised. One from President Paul, who I guess is making an assumption, and you can say whether that is true or not. That most of the drugs procured by NHF is from pharmaceutical companies in India and Bangladesh. Don't know if that's a problem, if there's a problem with that, but he's also saying, I think similar to DP Kingsley, that NHF procures generic drugs from his understanding. Please correct him if he's wrong.
Okay, so what I can do in relation to that is to get a comment from the NHF procurement team, and I can definitely forward that to Mr. Brooks, and he can relay this to you, whether via email or via chat. So I can get a comment as it relates to where the drugs are being procured from and the breakdown, possibly, not sure if I'm able to get that breakdown, but however, just see if I can get a breakdown of generic / brand name drugs that the NHF procures. But as mentioned before, I'm not sure where the drugs are from exactly, but we do have a mixture of generic and brand name drugs in our drug serve system.
All right, there's a concern from Kiwani and Joy, which is the last one we'll take from the chat, and then DP Winston will give us his final question.
Okay.
Kiwani and Joy is saying a lot of times you go to the private pharmacy, they are out of JADEP drugs, and you have to buy from them at a higher cost.
Okay, so JADEP drugs, as mentioned before, are free of cost. And once these drugs are free, in my assumption, they will go by really quickly. So we do have complaints of persons saying that they're not able to get some of the drugs on JADEP, which is why we also advise persons to get the NHF card. Because once you have the NHF card as well, and now they're both merged in one card, so once you have the NHF card, you are still able to get the subsidy from NHF if it is that the pharmacy that you are visiting does not have this item on JADEP.
Okay, thank you. DP Winston, you can go ahead with your question.
Sorry about the dog.
I don't think DP Winston is hearing.
Somebody said something, you don't think DP Winston? Or can I unmute you? Okay, let's try. Can you unmute now, DP Winston? can you? I'm not sure why he's unable to unmute.
The next person. But do you want to take somebody else in the meantime?
Well, he is the last question. But I see your hand is up, DP Stewart, so you can go ahead, and that will be the last one.
Okay, thank you. I have both cards, like the JADEP and the NHF. But whenever I go to the pharmacy to fill a prescription, they always only take the NHF one. So I always wondered what was the JADEP one for, because they never ever take that. So I'm wondering, is it that the JADEP card, it only covers specific drugs? I mean, we know about the illnesses and so on, but why would they not take that one? Or I just never, I never questioned it, because I just figured they knew what they were doing. But now that I have you on the platform, I just thought I'd ask the question: why is it that they wouldn't take it? I mean, I should ask the pharmacy.
Oh, Karine, you're muted. Karine, you're muted.
Sorry about that. So I'm saying, yes, I would recommend that you ask the pharmacist. However, the JADEP drugs, the JADEP card, once you are over 60 and you have your JADEP card, once you present your prescription to the pharmacist, you should be able to submit your JADEP card, and the pharmacy, once they are a JADEP participating pharmacy, because not all of the pharmacies are JADEP participating pharmacies, some are only NHF participating pharmacies. So once they are a JADEP participating pharmacy, they should allow you to use your JADEP card to fill your prescription. And it's only if JADEP items are not available, then they should go ahead and use the NHF card. So you also need to check if the pharmacy is a JADEP participating pharmacy, because they might not be.
Okay, thank you. That helps.
Mr. Brooks, I'm also seeing another question in the chat. Miss Paula Reed Morris, let me just take that last one since there are no more. Is there a substantial difference between generic and brand name drugs? And so generic, so generic drugs, sorry, I think I got, my internet probably just restarted. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you. I think I'm sharing now instead. Maybe that's why.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I didn't go. Okay.
No, yeah. You can go ahead.
Okay, so generic drugs are, these drugs, they still have the same active ingredient, but
Okay, it seems she went no.
Yes, we're not hearing her now.
that same product or that same
Miss
active
Reed,
ingredient
Miss
that they
Reed,
use, and
you have to start over. We weren't hearing you for a while.
Sorry. So the difference between the generic and the brand name drugs. So I was explaining that the generic
same active ingredients.
Okay, I think we have lost her. Miss Reed?
Mr. President, I am not seeing her online. It seems she has dropped off.
Yes, so it seems. So if she comes back on, then we'll take the response. We're at the point now to do the vote of thanks. We're gonna wait to see if she comes back on, and then we'll take Past Director Omar that will do the vote of thanks. But what we'll do now is I'll ask clubs if you have announcement, if you could just put it in the chat, and we will take those, and then we will ask DP the Sarge to come. Miss Reed, are you back?
President, I will have an announcement as well at the appropriate time.
Okay.
PVP Mark here.
Yes, certainly. So what visiting clubs, I'm going to ask you to at this point to just put your announcements in the chat, and then PVP Mark, you can go ahead with the announcement. No, at Chairman John, you can go ahead with your announcement, and then PVP Mark.
All right, thank you very much, President. Now, as it relates to our PLG competition, I would just like to bring the membership up. All right, we just have to bring the membership update as to where we are. In fifth place, we have DLGE Leighton's team with 80 points. In fourth place, we have DLGE Ashley's team with 108 points. In third place, we have DLG Ozzy's team with 121 points. In second place, we have PLG Lewin's team with 156 points. And currently in first position, we have DLG's Dog team with 199 points. So that's where we are as it relates to the point standing. As usual, this will be posted in our general WhatsApp group. So let's see what happens come next week as it relates to the point standing. Thank you, Pres.
Thank you, Chairman.
Hello.
I think
Sorry,
she's coming back on another. You're back?
Yes, I'm back. Sorry about that. I think the internet restarted this
All
time.
right, that's okay. So, PVP Mark, you can go ahead with your announcement. Then we go back to.
Thank you, President Dwayne. I would like to take this opportunity to bring to the club's attention that this year, the club KCNSA will celebrate its 48th anniversary. That's in March 2022. I'm getting an echo. Is that the case? Right, and towards that end, there will be a month of activities spanning from February 24th to March 27th, and a week of activities. And of course, the big night, the anniversary night, would be on March the 24th, 2022. I'd like to also share that an anniversary planning committee has been formed, and it's chaired by PP Dennis. And in that regard, I just want to alert all the chairmen present here tonight that throughout the ensuing days, we'll be engaging you individually and collectively towards crafting and executing activities towards this month of activities. So look out for that and begin to have that as a steady item on your committee agendas. Thank you so much.
Thanks, PVP. Thanks, PVP, Mark. So we go back to the vote of thanks, Miss. Oh, I think you were giving us a final comment.
Yes, sorry. So I was actually wondering if you had finished hearing the comment, read the generic and
the generic, and I don't think so.
brand.
So if you could summarize that again.
Okay, so basically the brand name drug, the generic drug is developed using the same active ingredient as the brand name drug. However, it's at a much cheaper cost. So the brand name drug goes through the clinical trials and they go through and they create the brand, the drug. Now, a generic company uses that same active ingredient to create another drug, and which is with the same active ingredient, and that is sold at a cheaper rate. So that is really the generic drug.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Reed. I'm sure we all benefited from the presentation. But to do the vote of thanks, I'm going to call past Director Omar to do so. Just tell you thanks on our behalf.
Good night, all. All protocols observed, Mr. President, fellow Kiwanians. Thank you, Ms. Karen Reed, for informing us on the NHF. Information was well put together, well received. Thanks again. We as members actually benefited from this information, and we'll definitely put out in the public to see how we can help each other with this. Thank you very much again for coming to us today.
Problem. Thank you so much for having me. It was I really did enjoy this session. Thank you so much.
That's wonderful. On screen is our certificate of appreciation. We do enjoy. We'll send it to you virtually.
Thank you
via
so much.
email.
I do appreciate this. No problem. Thank you so much. And also, I left the link to the chat and the telephone number for the National Health Fund, the website and the phone number. All right. Thank you so much, guys. And as I had mentioned before, continue to have a blessed year. Have a good night.
Thank you, Ms. Reed. We see why the NHF is the star performer in the public service. Corporate governance awards every year, customer service, entity of the year. Excellent. So thank you. I was really just at all by how the innovation really, really good. And I think NHF is really a flagship of the government of Jamaica. So we'll give you a final round of applause. I know persons were thanking you in the chat. So persons can open their mics and just hear our appreciation. Yes. Thank you, VP Omar, for doing the vote of thanks. And thank you again, Ms. Reed. We really do appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you so much and good night.
All right, thanks much. So in the chat, the announcements, UCC Circle K Club, they are having their food drive. I believe that is also in our bulletin, but the numbers to contact is in the chat. So the number to contact is in the chat, so you can look in the chat to provide any support. This is on the 28th of January. And the Kiwanis Club of Providence, Montego Bay is having their bingo night and sweet treat sale on January 26th at 6 p.m. Bingo book 500, 2 additional 150 each. Contact number in the chat and the Zoom ID and password also in the chat. And then the NHF information is in the chat, so persons can always go there. 23 East Professional St. Andrew Online, they're hosting their Valentine Sip and Paint on February 12, 2022 at 5 p.m. The cost, $2,000. You get your canvas, paint, brushes, and personal bottle of wine. Seems very reasonable to me. The contact for DP Judith is in the chat. Go ahead and make contact with her. So now we invite the Sarge to come. Welcome, the Sarge.
President, the Sarge cannot speak. The mic not working.
So the Sarge must be Sarge for not knowing how to unmute his mic. I hear the Sarge talking now.
All right. Thank you very much, President. But I had to leave and return in order to be able to unmute my mic. I guess it was locked by Chairman David. So Chairman David, you paid $200. They didn't even try to assist the president in unlocking my mic. And you're one of the co-hosts. Let me move quickly. All right. I know this president, some members, I don't know if they're hiding from the Sarge, but they refrain from placing KCNSA beside their names. And then they tell you that they were at a meeting. Past President-elect Dudley, my good friend, you know any of those? Past President-elect Dudley? All right, I know IPP Michael normally squeal out at them. IPP Michael, you know any of those? All right. IPP Michael, good evening, sir. All right, Secretary, can you make notes? IPP Michael needs to pay $200 because he logs on to the meeting and not attending. Director Wilton.
DP Winston, I'm hearing you, however, but I'm on a very important call. I'll
still $200.
I'm in the meeting.
Still $200. Director Wilton. Are you in the meeting, sir? Secretary, $200. Director Kenton. Director Kenton. Secretary, make notes, $200. Okay, Horace Nelson, long time no see. Horace, can you open your mic and say hello so that members who knew you can recognize the voice?
Good night, one and all. It's good to be here.
Good to be back. Good to hear you, sir. All right. I didn't hear the last part.
I'm hoping to be able to attend a few more meetings.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, we have not charged in a little while. So $300. You can remit it to the club via the bank account, sir.
Good night, DP Winston.
The secretary has your information already, sir. Kiwani and Cecil. We have been hunting you for a little while. Kiwani and Cecil Hunt. Okay.
Yes.
Long time no see, man. You don't come town anymore.
Not unless I have to.
Okay. All right. Send $300 via Western Union, and you pay the charges to the club for your Sarge fans. So. Distinguished Section Larry. Distinguished Section Larry.
Good night, Sarge.
Good to hear you, man. Good to hear you. We have not spoken in a long while. Are you still the commissioner, sir?
Very soon, sir.
Okay, thank you. So give me $300 from your future commissioner, please, sir. PP Leon, my good friend. PP Leon. PVP Mark.
Okay, you're running out of friends.
Yes, VP Winston.
Yes, I like your activeness in the club this year, sir. And I'm sure I'll see it continuing all the way through your years in the club. So only $300, sir, for your activities.
Yeah, DP Winston, this is DP Leon. Sorry, my equipment wasn't working too well. What were you saying to me, sir?
I was just saying hello, sir. Good to hear you, sir.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Nice to hear you.
Nice to hear you too, sir. President, I'm through with the charges, sir.
Waiting for the joke.
Where's the joke?
All right, I'll attempt one that Kenton sent me some time ago. While in church, a lady dozed off during preaching. She woke up and heard the pastor saying, "Stand to your feet." She stood up and saw the whole congregation in shock, including her husband. She looked around and saw that she was the only person standing. The pastor continued and said, "Yes, keep standing. We have one person standing already. Now let me repeat myself in case you didn't hear me. If you're unfaithful in your marriage, stand up." The lady fainted.
A very rude joke. That didn't come from me.
Is how much should we charge this Sarge for that?
$1,000 for deception.
He's
up the Sarge. He's up the Sarge.
All right. DP Winston, give us 300.
Oh, because you can't use up Sarge. That is not possible.
Thank you, PP Dennis.
Give us $300, DP, for that draw.
Thank you very much. And Kenton will pay for me, sir.
All right. And so he's to pay $500. Okay.
Yes, he's to pay 500.
He's not my good friend. I want to pay for my good friend.
All right. Thank you, DP Winston. So we'll move to the thought for the week and the benediction. Director Kenton.
Thank you, President Dane. My fellow Kiwanians, thought for the week is another quote from Marcus Garvey, quote number 112. And again, I want to thank my good friend DP Mark from the other excellent school for this quote. And it reads thus: let us not try to be the best or the worst of others, but let us make the effort to be the best of ourselves. Let us now close our meeting as we commit ourselves to our Creator. And so, gracious God, we thank you for the time spent this afternoon as we listen to the benefits offered by the National Health Fund. We continue to pray for the success of this program. And we ask that for those who are not doing well at this time, that you continue to heal them. You are the God, you are the doctor above all doctor. And so we ask that you continue to extend your hand of grace and mercy upon all of us. Thanks again to President Dwayne and the team as they continue to lead the Kiwanis Club from strength to strength each day. And now may the peace of God, which passeth all human understanding, may that peace rest, remain, and abide with us, both now and forevermore. The Lord be with you, my fellow Kiwanians, and also with you. God bless you. Have a good night, everyone.
Amen.
Thank you, Director Kenton. Amen to that prayer, and we thank you so much for it. Let me just thank everyone for joining us this evening at our guest speaker meeting. I know that we were edified, certainly by the presentation from Ms. Reed from the National Health Fund. Special thanks to the prospects who joined us this evening, and we look forward to seeing you next week again. Thanks to the visiting Kiwanis clubs and guests, and thank you to all the members of the premier Kiwanis Club, the Kiwanis Club of North St. Andrew. Thank you for joining, and we look forward to seeing you next week at our weekly meeting. This meeting of the Kiwanis Club of North St. Andrew is terminated. Have a good evening, everyone.
Toast.
Good evening, Chris. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Good night, everyone. Have a good one.
I didn't hear the toast.